We are singing, tracking the talker, crisscross applesauce, hands in our lap, voices off. Thank you. Here's what we're doing in our music video today. Elementary Academy scholars will be able to sing and move to Down, Down, Baby, discover our rhythm of the day, discover the life and music of John Philip Sousa, and then listen to and analyze Stars and Stripes Forever. So we're going to start off by doing Down, Down, Baby. So make sure you have a nice big space to move. I'm going to be standing up here against my wall here in my sewing room at home. We're going to start off going largo, nice and slow. We're going to go up to andante, a walking speed, then allegro, skipping speed, and finally presto, very fast. Need to pause the video, make sure you have enough space to move, get those pillows out of the way, push your chair back. You're going to start largo, very slow. Ready? Here we go. Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, sweet baby, I don't want to let you go. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy round. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, break down. Two big kids sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 65 cents. She missed like this. She missed like this. Wow, that felt like I was going slow motion. Okay, andante, walking speed. Here we go. Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, sweet baby, I don't want to let you go. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy round. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, break down. Two big kids sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 65 cents. She missed like this. She missed like this. All right, we did largo, crawling speed, super slow. We did andante, walking speed. Now we're going to do allegro, skipping speed. We might say a brisk pace. Tap, tap, here. Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, sweet baby, I don't want to let you go. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy round. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, break down. Two big kids sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 65 cents. She missed like this. She missed like this. All right, we did largo, super slow. We did andante, walking speed. We did allegro, skipping speed. Now we're going to do presto, fast running speed. Whew. You ready? Last one. Here we go. Down, down, baby, down by the roller coaster. Sweet, sweet baby, I don't want to let you go. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy round. Shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Pop, shimmy, shimmy, break down. Two big kids sitting on a fence, trying to make $1 out of 65 cents. She missed like this. She missed like this. All right, you can relax. I always feel like when we go presto, it's where do you take a breath? Whew. All right. Next thing we're going to do is discover our rhythm of the day. As a quick review, we have our ta, ti, sh, tika, tika, and then way over there we have that new one, ta. And remember now we're adding the heads to the note. That's the circle part. Really quick review the difference between a ta and a ta. Ta has that head of the note that's filled in. Ta, it's an open circle. Okay, let's see what we remember from last time. I'll give you a second to look at this. If you need to pause the video and say it to yourself a couple times, that is A-okay. Okay, I'm going to say this rhythm to myself. I'm going to start off saying it largo. Then we'll reset. We'll do it andante, then allegro, then presto. Each time in between, we'll say fine to show that the sound is done. Okay, so I'm going to start. When you hear what I'm doing and can copy me, please do this rhythm with me. Starting largo. Here we go. Ta, 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 fine. Okay, it was largo, crawling speed, super slow. Now we'll bump it up to walking speed. Here we go. Ta, 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 fine. All right, now we'll move up to allegro, which is skipping speed. Here we go. Ta, 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 fine. Now we'll go presto, running speed. Here we go. Ta, 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 fine. That's kind of fun to do at a very fast speed. Okay. Really quick, we're going to do a very, very, very fast review of the brass family of instruments. So in our last video, we talked about how the brass family is louder than any other instrument family. It's louder than the woodwinds. It's louder than the keyboard family. It's louder than the string family. I'm guessing some percussion instruments could probably give them a run for their money, but they are louder than any other instrument family, and so they can be heard for very long distances. The brass family is made up of instruments that are long pipes that are wider at the end, and they widen into a bell shape. That bell shape helps those instruments to project and be even louder. These instruments are considered wind instruments. That's because you use your breath and blow to make the sound. You vibrate your lips by buzzing into a mouthpiece. And in our next video next week, I will show you 4 brass instruments that I can play, and you'll get to see what those mouthpieces look like. All these instruments either use a valve, a set of valves, or a slide to change the pitch of the instrument. So if you look over to the right, there are the 4 main instruments of the brass family. Starting at the top left, we have the trombone. And then I'm going clockwise in this direction. So the trombone, next to it, the trumpet player. To the far right, there's a tuba, and then closest to me, the French horn. So those are the 4 main instruments in the brass family. Trumpet is the highest sounding. French horn is next. Trombone is next. And tuba is the lowest sounding instrument. That's also their order according to their size. Trumpet is the smallest, then French horn, then trombone, and then the tuba. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a guy named John Philip Sousa, who is a famous composer. So today we're just going to go through some things about his life and about his music that are important to know. So here we go. John Philip Sousa was born in Washington, D.C. That is our nation's capital, which is pretty cool. Right above me is a picture of the house that he grew up in. Kind of a cool house. He started his music education by playing the violin at the age of 6. The violin is a member of the string family, if you remember back to when we were talking about the string family. So he started playing instruments very, very early. I would say on average, most kids that play violins probably start pretty early. People that learn to play piano usually start in elementary school, maybe middle school. But then if you're playing any wind instruments, usually you start around 5th or 6th grade. So the fact that he started when he was 6 years old is pretty impressive. During his childhood, he studied singing, violin, piano, flute, trumpet, trombone, and baritone. So he could play a lot of different instruments. Some people say, Mrs. Isles, singing is not an instrument. Well, your voice is an instrument, actually. I really like that he learned to play the trumpet, the trombone, and the baritone. Those are all brass instruments. We didn't talk about the baritone yesterday. It's not one of the most common instruments. It's kind of like a mini version of a tuba. We talked about it briefly at the end last time. But that's kind of cool that he, as we'll see, was known for featuring brass instruments, and he played 3 of them. That's kind of cool. His father was a trombonist in the Marine Band. So the Marines are a branch of the military, and some people who learn to play instruments well can play their instruments in that branch of the military. The Navy, the Army, the Marines, they all have very, very, very good and very popular bands, which is kind of cool. His father brought him, John Philip Sousa, with him to the Marine Corps as a student because when John Philip Sousa was growing up, he had the dream to join a circus band. And his father didn't want him to join the circus. So he said, nope, you're coming with me. I'm going to the Marine Corps. So you're going to come and join me. And that'll kind of keep you on what his father thought was the best path for him. While he was a student, he joined a theater orchestra where he learned to be a conductor. So when you go to the theater, or when you go to the musical, a lot of times they'll have music that plays in the background. Now, if you were to go today, sometimes they might have like MP3 players that are playing in the background and making the noise. But especially back when John Philip Sousa was around, they didn't have that. So they had to have live orchestras there to provide any music. So that's where he first learned to be a conductor. And the conductor is that person who stands in the front of the orchestra and waves their hand to the beat and helps the musicians kind of do their job. So that's where he first learned how to do that, which is kind of cool. He helped to design an instrument called a sousaphone. So if you look to the far right, there's a picture of a young man, it appears, playing the sousaphone. And it is a tuba whose bell would sound upward and over the band. So if you remember in the picture we saw before, there was a woman who was holding the tuba here. The bell was pointed up. But a sousaphone, like in the picture, the bell curves forward so that the sound goes forward. The sousaphone is also really good because you can't really march with a concert tuba, the kind that where the bell points upward. Because it's heavy and it's bulky and there's not really a lot to hold on to. But if you look in that sousaphone picture, it wraps around that guy's whole body. So that makes it able for tuba players to be able to march and play at the same time, which is pretty cool. So they named it after him. They called it a sousaphone. If I invented an instrument, they might call it an aislesophone or something like that. So that's kind of cool that he has an instrument named after him. There's a picture of John Philip Sousa. I like his mustache. After working in the Marines, he joined the Navy and led their band in Chicago during World War II. So he was in the Marines and he was in the Navy. So he kind of went all around the military. He donated all the money he earned while working in the Navy to the Sailors and Marines Relief Fund. So it was a nice charity. He thought he wanted to give back to the community that he was so a part of in the Navy and the Marines. So he donated all the money he earned to those causes to help sailors, Marines, and their families. After the war, he continued to wear his Navy uniform at most concerts. So whenever people saw John Philip Sousa around, that's what he would look like. He would wear that uniform everywhere he went. And that was true for the rest of his life. John Philip Sousa wrote 136 marches. A march is a type of music, and we've sang before, marcato is strong with accents, we sing with strength and deep tone. When I think of the word marcato, I think of the word march because they both start with the first 4 letters. If something is marcato, it means you can march around the room to it. So marches are a style of music that's played in a way where the downbeat, the steady beat, boom, 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 is emphasized. It's hit really hard. It's called accented in music. That makes it easier for people who are in a marching band to feel and hear that steady beat and to be able to march to it. So he was very popular for making marches. He also wrote the music for 6 operettas, which are short, funny operas. An opera is kind of like a musical, except you sing the entire thing. So that's kind of cool that he wrote those. He wrote 3 novels and many newspaper articles, so he was not only good at writing music, he was also good at just writing. He refused to conduct his band if the music was being recorded. I always thought this was kind of a crazy fact. He thought it would ruin music in the country if it was recorded. I would say the majority of us probably listen to recorded music almost all the time. The only other way to listen to music was to do it live, which was probably great for John Philip Sousa because he was a conductor and he wanted people to come to concerts and come to the theater to hear music. So if anybody was like, hey, John Philip Sousa, I really like the sound of your band. Back then they didn't have MP3, they didn't have YouTube. They would make vinyl recordings or like records. So they're like, I'm going to bring up my record recorder down and we're going to record your band playing the music. And he'd be like, no. That's going to ruin the country if we do that. It's funny to see how far we've come since then. His nickname is the March King because he wrote those 136 marches. If you look above, you can see him with a baton, that stick thingy. That's what composers use to show the band what the steady beat is. So that's a little bit about John Philip Sousa, a famous composer, a famous conductor. And the last thing that I'd like us to do is to, listen to a song that's his probably most famous song. It's called Stars and Stripes Forever. And it is one of his famous marches. Cool fun fact, and I didn't even know this, I watched the presidential election of Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris. And after the inauguration was complete, and they had their little recessional, they were walking out, the march that they played was Stars and Stripes Forever. And I thought, oh, that's cool, because I'm going to be teaching that in a video to my elementary academy very soon. So that's kind of cool. You have a little connection to the president by listening to this, because he heard it just the other day when he got inaugurated. Okay, so as you listen to Stars and Stripes Forever by John Philip Sousa, I'm going to ask you to answer or think about these 3 questions, same ones as last time. First, what do you hear? Do you hear fast notes or slow notes? Would you describe it as largo, andante, allegro, or presto? Do you hear loud or soft music? I'm remembering that the quality of music that brass instruments usually make is that they are usually very loud, but not always. So keep that in mind. Are there instruments? Which ones? Here's a hint. We're talking about the brass family. Are people singing? Because your voice is also an instrument. Next, what do you feel? Does this music make you feel happy or sad or excited or courageous or brave or lethargic or lazy or grumpy? How does it make you feel? And then last, what do you picture? What images go through your head as you listen to the music? What does the music make you think about? Maybe it makes you think about something connected to the stars and stripes. I usually ask my scholars, when it talks about stars and stripes forever, what do you think the words stars and stripes represent? That might help you think of something in your head of what to picture. You can write and draw these answers out if you'd like to, or just think about them. That works too. I had a couple people from the last video send me responses like right after I posted that video. So if you want to send me some to my email address, I would absolutely love to see and hear your thoughts. All right, scholars, we only have one thing left to do today, and that is to do our train exit. So breathe with me. Here we go. Thank you for joining me for music today. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next week.